This is Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, a podcast and radio program presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan.
Driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
And now, here he is, your host, Jim Ervin.
Baby, I'm home.
Well, thank you, Parker. Hello there and welcome. I'm your host, Jim Ervin, and this is Time Signatures. Now, for those of you that have been with me from the beginning, you know that I have a standing offer to all of my previous guests here on the show. If you have a new album to promote, a tour to talk about, or if you have some other big news, all you have to do is reach out, and there is always a microphone available. Today's guest is one of my first from the really early days of this podcast, and his episodes were so damn much fun, I have literally been chomping at the bit to get him back on here with me. Now, if you're from the Southeast or Central Michigan area, even down the West Side, you already know who this guy is. He's been making the rounds for more than 2.5 decades now. He has recorded his first album at the age of 15, playing all parts, and he did that for a few albums afterwards. He has written over 150 songs. He has shared the stage with the likes of Joe Bonamassa, Detroit's Queen of the Blues, Thornetta Davis, Johnny Bassett, Corky Siegel, Larry McRae, and as they say, the list goes on and on. He won the 2007 West Michigan Blues Society Challenge, the 2010 Kalamazoo Valley Blues Association Challenge, the 2012, 14, 16, and 19 Detroit Blues Challenge, and as a result, he's been to Memphis quite a few times, even reaching the elite status of finalist at the IBCs in 2020. He plays multiple instruments, but that Gibson guitar of his gets the most attention with his fiery and diverse mix of blues, funk, and soul. You know who you're seeing perform on stage when he gets up there. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Detroit's Prince of the Blues, Chris Canas. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you? How's everything going?
Great. It is so good to finally talk to you again. We had so much fun.
Right. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I think it's been so long. You didn't even have the space that you're in right now built yet. It wasn't even a thing yet.
No, It wasn't even. It was in the back of my head somewhere. But man, I absolutely love this space now.
Yeah,
So,
it's looking great, man. It really does. You guys did a good job.
Thank you, man. Now, you know how this works. I want to ask how you been. Looks like another strong summer of music for you and the boys, yeah?
Yeah. Oh man, it's gonna be. I'm kind of toned it down a little bit, just a little bit to to make room for newer opportunities for different places because we're doing a lot of traveling now. So it's so we've dialed back from because I think we were at 250 a year or more. Wow. And I think we're at like 225. It's not much, but just that little wiggle room allows for,
little breathing space, right?
A little wiggle room. Give the guys a vacation, let them rest up a little bit more. So, But that doesn't let me take a break though, with that said. So they might be like, oh yeah, we're living life, we're hanging out, we're relaxing while I'm still running 2 other businesses. So
oh yeah. Well, you know how this works, man. Before we tackle the matter at hand, I need to get a couple more stories from you, Chris.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I'm gonna refresh your memory. Last time we talked, you promised to tell me about the time you helped your mom fulfill a bucket list mission, traveling to Portugal with her to the Santa Fe Blues Festival. Sir,
that's right.
The floor is yours.
All right. So, as you know, we go down to, been down to Memphis a couple of times, right? So, and with that, you usually win something if you're like the big winner. And we got like right there. We could never get, the rest of the way. But that's a whole nother story time for another time. So, but yeah, so one of her bucket lists was, she wanted to be, this singer, but a traveled singer. Like it's one thing to, play at your local bars and, your local festivals and everything like that. But it's a whole nother story when you have to scan somebody their, your passport that you don't know. They just come at you like, hey, can you scan me your passport? We want to get you guys tickets. And it's like, that seems sketchy. So I had to ask around. I asked Howard Glazier, Harmonica Shaw, because those guys they're always over there. So I had no idea. It was my first time going overseas. So So yeah, it was Ricardo, and he reached out and he was like, "Hey, we seen you down in Memphis." Um, and mind you, we weren't the winners, but they saw us down in Memphis anyway.
Sure.
And then I think I was doing a show called Music on the Couch. We just did like a quick interview. A lot of the contestants and stuff, do that interview.
Okay.
And so we did that, and then a couple months later, everything's over, and then I get that call from that guy, and he's like, "Oh, I want to bring you guys out, and we want to fly you out from Detroit to Santa Maria." And I was like, "Santa Maria? Where the hell is that?" I had no idea where this was. So it's literally in the middle of the ocean, like
Wow.
right off of, there's the mainland, Portugal, and then the Azores Islands are like right there. I don't even know if I'm
Okay.
saying it right. And so yeah, I asked for advice from the old timers, the old time cats that know everything and have been over there. And sure enough, they were like, "Yeah, just go ahead and scan all your stuff, and they'll get you tickets." So me, being me, I wanted to make it as easy as possible because I really wanted to go. I didn't want them to be like, "Oh no, never mind. You're too difficult. We don't want to bring you." So I was like, it's $5,000 a ticket to fly from Detroit to Santa Maria.
Yeah.
So like, if you guys want to save you guys some money, we can just drive to Canada and fly out Canada, and it's like $1,500 a ticket. And they were like, "What? You would do that?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not a diva. I don't need to fly from here to there. I can drive a couple hours and make it a little cheaper for you. So might as well." So yeah, so we did, and we got there. They rolled the red carpet out, and they had like Chris Canas band on a little sign, and
Wow.
I was geeked, because we don't get treated like that anywhere, So it was really cool. They were super appreciative to have us over there. We were over there with a couple of French headliners, and Mr. Sip was the night 2 headliner. We were the night 1 headliner, and
Nice.
yeah, and we had the whole island to ourselves basically for like a day and a half. And they were like, because I was getting worried. I was like, all right, maybe this isn't that big of a deal. And but yeah, once the day hit, I guess they ferried over like 50,000 people from the mainland to this little island. And
Holy cow.
man, there's pictures of me. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. There's pictures of me because I go wireless and walk through the crowd,
Well, yeah.
and there was no walking through the crowd. Like it was packed on the entire
Man.
island. It was crazy, crazy.
That must have been an
So
event for your mom too, huh?
man, yeah, she and that was the thing. Like she had never been out of the country other than like Canada, and that's the farthest she had ever been. So, and that I was able to bring that to her and give that gift to her from before she passed.
Man, that's
And
so cool.
traveling with your mom and both of you doing music that you love, like it's just there's nothing that can replace that, like ever.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I know I've seen some video of you guys at, I believe it was up at Tawas performing
Yeah, she
together on
loves towers.
stage.
Yep.
Love that video of you too. That's because I never got a chance to meet your mother. She was gone before we met. And
Yeah, that's right. That's
so
right.
so being able to kind of live vicariously through the magic of video is kind of cool. But
Right.
listen, as I was preparing for this interview, I was captivated all over again by the who's who that you've shared the stage with, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I
It's a
need to
long
hear about
list.
Johnny Bassett. Can you talk about that experience for me?
Oh man, Johnny was he was already well on his way, before I came along,
Mm-hmm.
whispering in his ear and trying to learn some stuff. And so my scene, and this is what I've always talked about, like there shouldn't be a east and west. Like I grew up born and raised in Detroit, and then we eventually moved to Farmington, then Ann Arbor. So a lot of the players used to consider me like West Side. And it's like, but I come to Detroit all the time. I can't went to the music menu all the time to see Thornetta and saw Johnny Bassett all the time. And he always had good things to say. He was always encouraging. And he was one of those guys who's been there so long that he knows when somebody's on some BS. Like he'll tell you too. But he was the sweetest guy. And really knowledgeable, super funny, super charismatic, hell of a player, and it's just yeah, yeah. He was a great blues man. Like he
Yeah.
was who a lot of people strived to be like. A lot of us looked up to him. So
Yeah. Now, I
yeah.
have to tell you, one of my favorite memories from last summer was at the Brighton Barbecue Jazz and Blues event over there.
Oh yeah,
Brett Lucas, as you may know,
Brett, man.
purchased Johnny's guitar.
I thought
And
he gave it to him. I didn't know he purchased
well,
it.
I don't, maybe he did, but I know he
I
has
think
it.
he was. Yeah, he has
Oh,
his guitar. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And he ended up teaming up with Johnny's band for what I believe was a summertime concert of a lifetime for me.
yeah,
And
yeah. I wasn't able to make it. Oh,
Brett handled that guitar with such reverence. And I
yeah.
think it was because of the reputation that Johnny had built for himself prior to his passing. What
hmm
is your fondest memory of Johnny?
Um, my fondest memory is probably an obscure one. We were doing some kind of event, like lifetime achievement event or something in Detroit. And Larry McCray was supposed to come. It was like 16 inches of snow. It was ridiculous.
Oh, man.
And Sir Mac Rice was in there. This was when, both of them were in there at the same time. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is heaven on earth. And I just remember like Johnny was just hanging out in his little pea coat with his little Kango on, and we were sitting in the back drinking, and my mom obviously took me there. We both went because we both love Johnny Bassett too. And funny thing is, I don't even remember who we were honoring for that night. I just remember hanging out with Sir Mac Rice and Johnny, and him telling
Wow.
like the craziest stories and just being an old blues man. That was he didn't perform. It was just Johnny, normal Johnny, regular old Johnny. That's what I love.
That's so
Because
cool.
you meet a lot of people and they're always on and they're in performance mode or whatever, and they got to play the
Right.
character and all that crap. And this was just stripped down. It was almost like acoustic Johnny, just everything stripped down.
Yep.
There's no effects and no amplification, just raw Johnny.
Yep.
That's what I loved about it.
Wow. And you
Yeah.
mentioned Larry McCray. Speaking of him, you got to have
Yeah.
at least one really good Larry McCray story hiding in the back somewhere.
Ooh, not too much. Me and Larry,
Okay.
we haven't crossed paths that much. When we did, we was actually that night when Larry finally got there. He drove from Saginaw to Detroit in that snowstorm to get there. And like everybody was chomping at the bit to play with Larry, except me, because I was like, all right, there's like 50 guitar players. There's J Bone up here, Nick Tabarias is up here. And they're all much bigger than me. So it's like, eh. My mom was like, you just got to go up and say what's up. And I was like, I'll say hi when everybody's done and all that. And so then I went to the bathroom and then I hear my name. Larry's big booming voice calls my name. And I'm like, oh crap. So I went up there. He was like, grab the guitar, grab the guitar. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. So grabbed my guitar and we all jammed with Larry, man. It was cool. It was really cool. And we've
Wow.
opened for Larry a couple times too, out in I think it was Auburn Hills or somewhere out there, Callahan's or something. It's one of those
Very
one of those
cool.
places that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm going to open this wide up for you. Give me
Yeah.
your favorite memory of playing or working with any blues musician that you can think of over the last 25 years of your career. It's all you.
Last 25 last
Your
25 years.
favorites.
Anybody?
You got a favorite
Jeez.
story?
Man, favorite story. I'm sure one of these includes James Cloyd at one point because
Okay.
he's always been influential, always been silly as hell. Um yeah, not really. I'm like a workaholic. I don't really even have time to get into to make stories like this. A
Okay.
lot of guys have a lot of mishaps and things like that. Oh, there's one. I just remembered one. We were playing we were playing out in Pontiac, I think. And DC has this thing where he always wants to make someone fall or make someone's something fall off or something weird that I don't know what it is.
What's with
But
him, man?
I don't know. I was like, why do you want people to fall? He's like, because if they fall, they having a good time. It's like, all right, or they're just drunk as hell and have no coordination, but teach their own. But no, we were doing this really big gig, and then there was folks out there getting it, dancing, getting their groove on, swing dancers out there too. And then next thing we know, there's an ambulance that comes. And I'm like, what? So we're still playing. You know me, I don't stop for anything hardly, but my paramedic mind's taken over. So I'm looking around, seeing like, why is there an ambulance coming? And next thing I know, there's this lady on the ground, older lady. Apparently her entire shoulder was popped out because her husband dropped her because they were swing dancing. And I guess she spun a little too much and down she went. And, so we're still playing. And I'm like, I'm looking at the producer, like, should we keep going? He's like, just keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm like, I don't feel like we should keep going. I feel like we should stop so the paramedics can hear. And so I faded out the song. We ended the song. And then the lady, they put her on the stretcher. And then she's like, best day of my life. I'm like, all right, maybe there is something to people falling. But then two more people fell after that. So they didn't break anything, but there were two more people that were dropped on the floor.
You gotta love DC, man. That's all there is to it. You gotta love them.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, don't say stuff like that anymore. You're jinxing us. But
listen, you've allowed me to whet my appetite. I appreciate the stories. Thank you so much. I love to capture these. But rumor has it, as we move on here, has it that you're working on a new album. You might even be recording right now.
For sure.
What can you tell us about it? And for the love of Pete, please get it done soon, dude. I'm dying over
man.
Here.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And it's like we recorded in March, and then we recorded some more in April. And like, holy crap. I thought Detroit was like the pinnacle. That's good writing, there's good musicianship in there. It's a good album. I love it. But like this one is like, whew, it's just like there's no reins. Like the reins are gone. It's just wild horses running free in the field, and it's crazy. Like I listened to the one. It's we've played it live. We play it live right now.
Okay.
It's Motown Mojo, and just the way it comes in, just like it just smoothly comes in, and then it just like it almost like sizzles, and then it explodes into the song. It's crazy, man. And when I listen to it in the car, I only listen to it on my headphones at first, because when the guys send you like stems or whatnot, it's not the full thing. So I just recently like upgraded my whole system here in my office. So I've got like the subwoofers and like those, studio monitors and stuff in here.
Nice.
And when I listened to it in the car, I was like, oh, 'cause my car has like Bose system in it. And I was like, Jesus, it doesn't even need to be mastered. It was just there, like right where it should be. And then I listened in here, like at full volume when nobody else was home, and it shook the house, man. It was thumping, and I was like, damn, this is gonna be hard rocking.
Yeah.
But then it chills down a little bit too. So we got our sweet side too. Gotta have the love songs in there for the ladies and stuff. So it's balls to the walls, man. And then it's got a lot of dynamic. You know how we do. We're always up and down like this when we're doing music and stuff. So it's super high dynamics. When it's high, it's hitting hard. When it's low, it's nice and sweet and smooth. So it's got a lot going on. I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
What is there any kind of a time frame at this point?
Time frame? I was aiming for this year, for like November holiday season. I think we could probably do it. I think
fingers are crossed over here.
Yeah, because I think I'm gonna do, because we got 6 down right now, and I like to at least do 12. So it's basically half done, half recorded.
When you get there, in advance of the release, get with me. Sir. Let's put this together. We'll have you on to talk about it. You know the rules, man. You're welcome here anytime.
I appreciate that. Yeah, you'll be the first person to get it. You'll be the first one. Yeah,
And
man.
listen, I don't stream. I buy first and then I stream if I do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's how
I
I do
believe
it
in
too.
supporting the musicians, man, 100%.
And we
But
all appreciate you.
I will look forward to it. Now I'm going to flip the page here because, as
All right.
everybody knows, it's blues festival time in the United States, and the weather's getting warmer.
Yes.
Well, it
Finally.
has been. Then it cooled down, and it gets warm. And
Right.
among the many cool festivals in the state of Michigan, the Kalamazoo Valley Blues Association is
Mm,
absolutely kicking ass this year, coming out of the
yeah.
gate with a show that you're not likely soon to forget. Just my opinion. It's slated for Friday and Saturday, July 18th and 19th. And here's the lineup for Friday. Got Jim Klein kicking it off, followed by none other than Detroit's Prince of the Blues, Chris Canas,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Ivy Ford and Brandon Santini. So how cool is this Blues Fest going to be, man?
Like super cool. Like the last time me and Ivy shared a stage was St. Louis Blues Festival in Michigan. And I think the headliner was Chris Stone, Kingfish.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
me and him have been talking back and forth for years. Like he would do a version of Purple Rain, then I did one. Or no, I think I did one first and then he did one. And then like we were just, like, hey, can't wait till till you're in Michigan. He's like, oh, can't wait till you're in Mississippi or whatever. And then like we finally got to meet that day and he was running late. So he got off the bus and beelined it straight toward, like, as soon as we saw each other, he was like, Chris. I'm like, Chris Stone. And then we like had this big giant hug. And he was like, I gotta go. I was like, yeah, I know. Get on stage. Like it's already set up. You're ready to go, bro. So but Ivy Ford like absolutely killed it. Like, and obviously Chris Stone killed it. It was just a good day. A good day. Meet some good people.
This is going to be an absolutely
This one.
fun time.
Yeah, dude.
Saturday, let me whet the appetite here for Saturday, kicking off at 1 p.m. with the Left-Handed Rollers, followed by the Crossroads Resurrection, Stefan Hillesheim out of Chicago, Tully Bray, and then Blues Hall of Famer John Primer and the Real Deal Blues Band,
Like
who
for
I'm
real.
telling you, you're not going to get any better than this, okay? And
Nah, man. John
Vanessa
Prime will do his
Collier
thing.
to wrap up the evening, man. This is
Yep.
this is so going to be an incredible deal. Are you going to
Yeah.
hang around for Saturday too?
I think so. I don't think I have a show booked on the 19th. I will look though to double check.
Well, the good news
Uh,
is I found out
actually no.
today. Oh, go ahead.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go, you can go ahead.
I was just going to say I just got word today that the tickets are on sale right now at kvba.org. You can also get information on their Facebook page, which is facebook.com/kzblues. And of course, we will put this information in the information section to this podcast episode as well. So, Chris, last question for you, the most important one,
Yeah.
sir. Where can folks go to buy some CDs, get some merch, maybe learn more about you, or book you for a gig?
You can check us out at chriscanis.com or .net. We got both.
Okay.
You can check us out at the Chris Canis for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Just Chris Canis for our YouTube. You can check us out on iTunes. We got SoundCloud, Bandcamp, you name it, we're on it. And except OnlyFans, we're not on that. Don't look for us on OnlyFans. But yeah, so yeah, we got. And what the best part of all is I hand make everything. So like even down to the CDs, like I make those. So you're not just buying from some suit that doesn't have any connection to anything. Like I hand make every shirt, I hand make everything. So you're literally buying it from me to you. So the best place to get something is at a show. That's always best because then we can sign it, we can kiss it or something and bless it with blue sweat or whatever people do nowadays. I don't know. You can do whatever you want.
I
Whatever
had
you.
a hard time choosing between this shirt, which this is one of my favorite shirts, honestly.
Mine too. Mine is
It's
one
it's
of my
pretty
favorites.
badass. Was this? Did you design this?
I helped design that, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
okay. I
but
thought you
I
did.
forget the name of the K. I want to say KC. I would have to look it up now.
Okay,
They like did the full, like finished all the design and everything. So
right.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
got
they
the
did a
poster.
great
I
job.
couldn't I couldn't lay my hands on the poster. I was in a hurry today. But I did wear the shirt. He just happens to have one. Look at that. Look at
I'm gonna
that.
have one for you. So next time I see you, I will get you the poster because I don't need two. I only need the one so I can hang it up with I have a bunch of up here. I have a bunch of posters in front of me, and then the albums I'll go behind me. So yeah, this poster I've had this since the festival, and I'm like, I know he didn't get one, so let me make sure I get two. That was you remember when I think I posted about when they took me in there to make cookies, and I had a printout of my face on cookies.
Yep.
That was when I got your poster in there. So I was like, let me get one for Jay.
Very cool. Very cool. We're going to look forward to it. And of course, I do have one of your other shirts. Matter of fact, I think I wore it.
Oh yeah.
But we were just doing audio back then when we recorded the first time around. So correct, I can attest to the quality, and he's got great merch, and the CDs, of course, they're just off the charts, and I can't wait for that new one. But Chris, I look forward to seeing you in Kalamazoo on July 18th, if not sooner. But which
is my birthday, by the way.
Oh, is it really?
It is.
Well, we're gonna celebrate. I got to buy you a shot or something.
Yeah, we do one. We'll do one.
There you go. Something tells me we're going to cross paths sooner than that, though. And you better not forget me when the album comes out.
Absolutely not.
Continued success, and always, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for joining me today on Time Signatures. I love you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Love you too.
All right. Well, before we close this edition of Time Signatures, I want to tell you about Joe Bonamassa's Keeping the Blues Alive Foundation. Now, some of you know KTBA for their annual cruises, but did you also know they have a program called Fueling Musicians? This initiative is designed to provide financial support such as food, shelter, and more to help struggling musicians, music educators, and industry professionals get back on their feet. Additionally, they have KTBA Records. Now, this is a label that has reignited the music careers of musicians like Dion, Joanna Connor, Larry McRae, and others. There's so much more. Please visit keepingthebluesalive.org today and make a tax-deductible donation to help them keep this moving. It's time and money well spent. And as always, thank you for your consideration. And that wraps up this edition of Time Signatures. Once again, my thanks and my undying gratitude to Chris Canas, but also to you, for without you, none of this would be possible. Jim Ervin reminding you, keeping the blues alive is everyone's responsibility, but preserving the history of the blues, one story at a time, that's my mission. Until next time, so long, everybody.
This has been Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan. For more information on cabs, visit capitalareablues.org. You can find this episode and past episodes at lccconnect.org. The Time Signatures theme song, Michigan Roads, is used by permission and was written by Root Doctor, featuring Freddie Cunningham.
You know I'm trying, baby, driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
Until next time, keep on keeping the blues alive.